Well, good afternoon guys, this is Luke from Tiny Table Wargames. What we have here today is, well, we're not really going to do an unboxing, we're going to do a build video. Not really too sure on how long this is going to take, sorry, I just need to reorganise everything on my desk and I need to find out where I've put everything. Jesus, oh, my, I'd lose my head if it wasn't screwed on, to be fair. Yeah, just figured I'd do a quick, not really an unboxing, a build of the German super heavy prototype tank, the Mouse, which obviously, as we're aware, never saw production. They found, I think they found like a prototype hull. I can't remember, but yeah, it's just a model that's interested me, and you know that tends to be what I'll be doing. I'll be picking models that interest me and stuff. Obviously, this is made by Zvezda. You get your little basic instruction manual, your little information on the back with whatever. So yeah, let's crack on with this and let's see how it goes. So obviously, first step, get it out of this plastic bag. Apologies for anyone with headphones in. Yeah, let's get this over and done with as quickly as possible. Let's have a quick look at what we've got. I mean, one thing I can say about Zvezda kits is the detail, however simple, they have gone that extra little way to give us sort of like the decent tracks. I say decent tracks. They're very simple tracks, Zvezda's, but they give us the great inner detail, which realistically I'd prefer something sort of more realistic on the lines of Battlefronts, with their track details and the like. But for, I think I paid like £2.89 for this off E-Models. So let's get started getting things clipped out. What pieces do I need first? That would help. You know, let's clip out the inner hull. And go from there, shall we? Obviously, yet again, it's moulded in standard grey plastic, just like you'd expect from most model companies. It's a little bit thicker than what you would get on your Airfix kits, which is obviously Zvezda are known more for the diorama things than their actual sort of wargaming stuff. Obviously, they do have their own little war game now. Well, I got these because I thought they'd be a bit of fun to build and, you know, a little bit of fun to paint. Something else I can put on the channel, I guess. But yeah, so my schedule this week has been slightly off, but that's mostly because I've just been organising things and getting things in order and getting things together to sort of start the channel up again, and trying to find applications that work for editing and, you know, video recording. At the moment I'm just using standard Android software for that. So what have we got? We've got the inner hull, the outer hull. We've got this little central piece here which creates the spine. Obviously with these Zvezda kits, they do advertise them as snap fit. I've found an easier way of putting them together using glue, rather than just the snap fit, which prevents you from using too much effort to sort of push things together. I'm not going to really fuss about the little bits on there because they're going to be inside the tank in that little section there. However, I will go across and neaten these sections up. Not like it's really needed, but I'll do it anyway. And obviously there's a lot of people online doing these types of models now. I mean, the mould lines are pretty clean. There isn't really much in regards. I mean, there's a big one. I mean, they're pretty decent down the centre, but they're nothing that you're really going to notice or see. Obviously it's a big slab kit. Pretty much the mouse was just a giant slab with tracks hidden underneath. So apologies if you can hear any noise in the background, it's just my neighbours walking around the flats. Going out, I think. Yeah, picked up my little hobby knife. Paid like £2 for it at a local pound shop. Well, I'll say pound shop, it was like a discount store. I could do with some little sanding sticks and a couple of other small hobby bits, but so just getting back into things, take things step at a time. Is it going to upset a few people that I've not really sanded the centre of the tracks? Quite possibly. I've got a couple of these that I can just go over with, but they're pretty blunt now. But I can't imagine they're going to neaten things up too much now. I'll just leave it. It's not going to be for anything fancy anyway, and you're not really going to see it. So the tracks obviously will be getting covered in mud and grime, and so yeah, again, you won't really be able to see it. But I mean, for wargaming pieces, I've built the Panther, the Yag Panther. Built that the other day. Yeah, they're good little kits. Good, quick, fun to build. Not a right lot of issues with them. Just figured. Don't know how long this will be. Maybe it'll be about 30 minutes. See if I can possibly edit it down a little bit short. But I doubt it because I'm doing a voiceover. But you know. So just cleaning up the tracks, things like that. You know, get things cleaned up and cut out. And probably for my next video, I'll probably pre-do all of this, just to shorten it all down. Then you just literally see the assembly of it, and it's like 10-15 minutes then at the most, rather than this one that might be about half an hour. Right, so that's them done. I mean, glue is optional with these. It isn't a compulsory thing. You don't have to glue them on. Which way is it going? I believe that's the front. Ah, so the parts are actually just a small bit of glue, I think, in the end. There we go. So just dab a bit of glue in the end sections already. And what that should do, if you leave it a couple of seconds, is it will allow the plastic to melt down a little bit, which means this section should just slide straight in without much fuss. And there we go. So that's one side in. That's the other side in, and there's no real need for excess force. It melts the plastic enough to just slide them in and have at it. Is there any particular way this needs to go? No, I don't think there is. So yet again, just glue into the little holes themselves. Where's my damn tweezers? Right. It's just a universal piece, so it don't really matter which way it goes in. But yet again, the melted plastic, it's fantastic. See what I did there? Yeah, it's not funny. I won't laugh at that either, to be fair. I feel ashamed. I should probably leave the room. Now we're just clipping out the upper hull. Obviously details being details, you know, they're not the most intense, they're not the deepest cut, but once you give them a light coat, I pretty much brush paint everything. As I brush paint it, I'm one of those weird people where I don't really heavy coat things. Obviously I thin my paints with my wet palette and things like that, but it's more of a semi-wet dry brush, so to speak, and I just sort of layer it up in that. So like the tiger you saw me doing the other day, that was layered up. I think that's probably had 2 layers of paint, 3 layers of paint maybe at the most, and it doesn't even look or feel like it's had that much put on, just because of the way I paint it. I try and paint as thin as possible. Now I was debating whether to magnetize this or not, but just because this one's going to be more of a display piece than a usable piece, so I probably won't. But there we go. It goes on, I say nice and easy. There we go. Goes on nice and easy, and everything just pushes in with a little bit of gentle force. A little bit on the end there that needs clipping off. Squeeze it together to hide the gap as much as possible, but as you can see, it's quite a big piece. So I'm thinking with these ones, they're not really ideal for wargaming due to the scale difference between Battlefront and Zvezda. The scale difference is quite big. Doesn't look it in some cases, but I put the Panther next to the Panzer. I put the Jag Panther next to the Panther, and the difference is night and day. Could you get away with putting them in the same platoon? No. Could you get away with possibly putting them in different platoons? More than likely. Am I going to? No. I'll probably use these to create some level of diorama, or just something along those lines. But yeah, just keeping things neat. I've taken the ends off my fingers that many times, and I wonder why the way I cut. Probably gives somebody some anxiety, but that's life. Don't know if you can hear my TV in the background, hopefully not. I'd rather not get a copyright strike to begin with. Yeah. Just got a World of War in colour on Netflix at the moment. It's always something interesting to watch while I'm at the desk. Always interesting to learn about history, and there's only so much to teach you in schools and universities and things of the such. Right, so yeah, again, glue mostly the. I don't really think it matters on this one, to be fair. Some glue hold up in the end again. I'm beginning to understand now why a lot of people use the new brush glues, where it allows you to just brush it in rather than sort of glue it. we go. Hold that together for a few seconds. So yeah, we're at 15 minutes. I'm expecting this to take around about 30 minutes. Be a good bit of fun. Probably could have done with magnetising it. But yeah, again, it's not a wargaming piece, so I'll probably glue it when it gets to the stage where I want to create a scenario with it. Just wipe a little bit off with my finger so it doesn't get everywhere. This side seems a little bit easier. So yeah, the idea of the mouse was an interesting concept. Don't think it would have been a massive game changer for them if I'm honest. Yeah, again, just another one of his Wunder weapons. That wasn't really going to do much because it just cost far too many resources to commit to. Bit of a daft idea, but what do you expect when you've got a crazy man doing all the thinking for you? There we go, that's one piece dropped. Where's it gone? Found it. Downside about dropping grey things on a grey carpet. And not being able to use your phone as a torch because it's recording a video. But we got it done, we found it. But yeah, obviously if you're getting new into model building and you stumble across this channel, obviously just be careful when you're using knives and things of the such, you know, it's dangerous work, and especially if you're a bit younger, you know, get your parents to help you with it. It's a fantastic opportunity. It was bonding time. I mean, even if you've got children yourself and you know you're looking into it, it's something that kids tend to find exciting. They might not enjoy the building and the building aspect of things, but they may enjoy the wargaming aspect of things, especially if you're getting into games like Flames of War. You know, I mean, I've got a son. He enjoyed it when I used to do Warhammer. So, well, yeah, that's major part of the hull completed. It's got the exhausts and a few other small bits to fit in. Obviously, you do get a big flag piece, I believe, with these for underneath the bottom. Allows you to play by their rules, and I think can't remember what it's for, but it's for something. Here we go, let's start taking the parts out for the barrel and the main upper hull. Or I suppose in this case it'd be superstructure, wouldn't it? Because of how bloody large it is. But yeah, I'm not finding much in the way of mould lines and other issues, so it's all good. So just a quick run through, I think. That's what we're doing today. Nothing fancy. So that sprue's all cut out now. Nothing more needed on that. Let's cut this flat piece out. Cut the gun out. And again, absolutely fantastic. Right, there we go. So I mean, yeah, it's going to be interesting getting this channel up and running and getting it going, and hopefully start scripting things a bit more and getting more of a routine set in and things of the such. And I said I'd probably upload these on a Tuesday or Thursday, but something's better than nothing, eh? Yes, I am one of those heretics that tends to cut things out. So here's your little flag piece. It's kind of hidden in with the sprue. Well, obviously I won't be using the flag piece because I've got no intention of using this for the game, but the little flag piece will just go in the bottom like so. There's a little hole there, which goes in there. Looks like such. Let's just clean this up. But yeah, cleanup's pretty minimal on these, which is good. So you take these little front pieces, the gun mantlet, is it even fair to call this thing on the bloody mouse a gun? Just a giant cannon. Right, so these two little pieces go in here, like so. I think that allows for elevation of the, yeah, that'll allow for elevation of the mantlet piece itself, which will obviously be gluing in. So let's put glue on them parts. Just push these in gently. Not too much force needed, just enough to get them snug. Obviously once it's glued in, it'll allow for movement of that particular part. Drop a, oh, clean this up first, that would help. So yeah, I've been jammering around for 24 minutes. Hope for the next 5 minutes this is done. 30 minutes, it's a bit of a long video, but I kind of prefer giving you something that's a bit more personal, and rather than just a voiceover and a basic instruction manual and things like that. And I mean, the new Migration box sets are coming out soon. The pre-orders are up for Flames of War. Obviously, I'm not sponsored by them or anything. It's just that's the game I'm particularly going for at this point in time. So I think it'd always be a good option to support it and, you know, talk about it. And I'm looking forward to it. Obviously, I've not able to invest in anything from Flames of War just yet, but things are what they are. So that piece glues onto there. Just do that one again. And these 4 little pins at the bottom just go into there. Although I'll probably drop a tab of it on 3 sections just to help the front stick down. But yeah, just giving it that extra little bit of, that extra touch of glue just before you put the parts on will allow you to sort of glue it together a bit more. Could probably have done with, and then again, a little bit of wiggle with that and you'll be fine. I'm not going to glue it. It's not going to be moved once it's done on the diorama or whatever I plan on doing with it. So yeah, again, just give these bottom bits a bit of a glue. There's little tabs here, one on each side, one on the back and the bottom. Just to help it close up the gap a little bit. There you go. Nice and snug. And that's the upper superstructure for the mouse. Let's get this last little exhaust done, and yeah, should be done before 30 minutes. So that's great. If I can, obviously, once I've got used to, normally I tend to do things in my own time, and you know, it can take me an hour to do one model just because I end up sort of flicking through Facebook and things of the such, you know, just while I'm building, and or I'll be watching YouTube and I'll get distracted. But doing it this way gets it done quick. I enjoy building models, I enjoy painting models. You know, obviously with this corona lockdown, especially in Britain, you know, it's a good time to get into hobbies and things. I mean, other companies like Hornby, they've seen a resurgence of people getting back into model trains. You know, and I think it's not been good overall for a lot of people in the country, but as far as the hobby sector goes, you know, people have been getting back into hobbies that they haven't touched for 20 years, especially in the older generations. You know, younger generations are now seeing these hobbies because, I don't know, uncle, you know, or your dad's just bought a new train set, you know, but it's never really been something you've thought about getting. I mean, I wasn't really brought up with, well, I say that I wasn't brought up with models and things, I say that, but I was. My dad built models as a kid. You know, a 60s child, so what people would class as a boomer these days, I suppose. Let's bring some political buzzwords into the page, why don't we? But yeah, with these, I'm not too keen on too much cleanup, just big surfaces, and you know, a lot of that can be glued and whatnot. So let's just glue this little bit here, glue that on there, and then this just slides into the top. But yeah, these kits, for the price that they are, I mean, I got 5, so I figured I'd get the mouse. I've got the Jagdtiger, I've got the Brumbar, I've got the Sturmtiger, and I've also got the Königstiger, so the King Tiger. At the moment, I'm enjoying doing the Germans. It's just the German armour that I enjoy. And, you know, I think anybody that gets interested in World War II wargaming, you know, they tend to go for who had the coolest looking tanks. Obviously, some people's perception of what cool looking tank looks like is different to mine. I think the German armour was pretty good looking. It was, you know, it was impressive for its day, and it's essentially what we've based modern day armour off. So here I'm just setting a pilot hole. Hopefully this drill bit's not too big, and I think it is. I think I'll probably do the drilling out of the barrel another day. Central, not quite, but yeah, I'll hollow the barrel out another day, I think, because I don't know where I've placed my drill bits. So let's just get this glued in, and we'll call it a day, I think. So that's that there. This is the last piece going in. Pretty much locks straight into place. And then there we go. 1 to 100 mouse. So you'll see what I mean by scale. Obviously we've seen prototype images of the mouse and the overall size of it. That's it next to the Tiger. So although the scale is massive, it doesn't look as big as it would have done on more than likely the real life battlefield. You can probably, I think Zvezda are a true scale. Battlefront, I think they've gone for the 15mm heroic, so it's probably closer to 17 or 18mm. No, that's probably too high, probably 16mm. But they're fantastic little models. The detail on these are basic, especially for other tanks. But for the price, they're a fantastic little quick project to do. So anyway, I enjoyed building that. Hopefully you enjoyed the ride along with me. I shall see you next week. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Hopefully you want to see more